I am legitimately speechless, which is extremely rare for me to say. After the pre-order weekend for Marvel's Spider-Man 2, I honestly don't know what to say. For those that don't know, the collector's edition on the PlayStation Direct was an absolute disaster, but apparently, at least at the time of this recording, somehow, some way, the collector's edition is back in stock on PlayStation Direct. I've asked multiple US citizens to check this and verify that it's actually the case, and it looks like it most definitely is back in stock. So if you missed out, I wanted to kick things off with that because I want to make sure that as many people in my community have a chance to get that edition if they want to. So I just wanted to give you guys the heads up on that. However, for this video, I wanted to actually focus on the exciting developments that happened around pre-order weekend, because there actually is some really interesting revelations. And no, I'm not talking about the Marvel.com article that Bryan Intihar did an interview for, which I covered in depth in this video right here. So if you haven't seen that, I definitely encourage you to check it out because I covered everything in depth. Anything that you need to know from that interview will be covered in that video. But for this one, we're actually talking about the pre-ordered pages, which I know sounds kind of confusing. Like, why would we ever look at those pre-order pages? I mean, most of the time they just have a bunch of random mumbo jumbo written on there, but there's actually some really interesting new details, including new information, new locations, and one of which I think will be extremely important for the developments of this game. So first, let's begin with the following sentence, because my goodness, this sounds epic. Spider-Men, Peter Parker and Miles Morales face the ultimate test of strength inside and outside the mask as they fight to save the city, each other, and the ones they love from the monstrous Venom and the dangerous new symbiote threat. So first and foremost, I want to address this because I've seen a couple of people, especially on Twitter, say that, oh, well, the way that they phrase this, it sounds like Venom is not the only symbiote. There's going to be another symbiote that will be included here as the new symbiote threat. Now, could you be correct? Yes, but I would give it like a 1% chance of being true. I think that this is just simply saying that the symbiote itself is a threat. Naturally, that makes sense. And Venom will be the ultimate monster that we'll be battling, which I think is again important because so far, a lot of the marketing for this game has presented Kraven as the big bad guy. And it certainly seems like some of these points that are made in these overviews, both on the PlayStation Store and the PlayStation Direct Store, point to Venom being the one that we would have to deal with. I also really love the detail here being mentioned that they are going to have to save one another, which is something that a lot of us already believe, because a lot of us are predicting that there will be a fight between Miles and Peter while Peter is possessed by the symbiote. So this kind of gives it even more credibility. One final point I wanted to make about the symbiotes themselves is the fact that they have continuously used this phrase when it comes to Venom. They say an original take on a symbiote-infused Venom, which is very interesting because obviously ever since they revealed to us that Eddie Brock would not be their Venom in this game, which again, also the phrasing there, in this game, so who knows if he will be in the future, but it definitely seems like they are very much leaning into the idea of this will be an original take on Venom. Next, I wanted to focus on the new locations, the first of which is Coney Island. Of course, an institution in New York. We better be able to get a Coney Island hot dog. I swear, that better be a thing or else we'll riot. But I could definitely see a really wholesome scene taking place on the Coney Island pier, maybe a date between Pete and MJ, but maybe at this point in time, Peter's already possessed by the symbiote suit, so therefore he is like irritable, or maybe they even have some sort of a blow-up fight and they break up on the Coney Island pier, only to then maybe at the end of the Ferris wheel he could propose to her. Wouldn't that be wholesome? I think that would be a cool way to end the game, but of course this is all just speculation on my part. No matter what, Coney Island is a very cool thing to include here. I could also see just an epic fight on the actual Coney Island Ferris wheel between the two Spider-Mans and some type of a giant monster, whether it be Venom or the Lizard. But the next location that was revealed is far more exciting for me because I could genuinely see this being a very crucial area in the game and a very important area in the game because it is the Emily May Foundation. For those of you that don't know what the Emily May Foundation is, it's obviously quite easy to decipher that Emily Osborn is the Emily part of Emily May Foundation, and May Parker is of course the May component, hence why I put those two together and you get yourself a brand new foundation. We obviously don't have any sort of context yet as to Who's bankrolling this particular venture? Most likely, I would imagine someone like Norman Osborn would be behind something like this. Maybe after all the shenanigans that go down with Mr. Negative, aka Martin Lee, he takes over Feast and rebrands it as the Emily May Foundation. I could certainly see that being a possibility. But the reason why I think it is such an important location is because imagine how much gravitas a place like that has for Peter. And God forbid, if something happens that tarnishes the legacy of May Parker, Peter would not be able to forgive himself. So if Norman or someone shady like that is doing something evil under the name of Emily May Foundation, that is going to cause Peter to absolutely lose it. The other thing that's super interesting about the Emily May Foundation is that during the process of making this video, it was added to the PlayStation Store description under stunning visuals, removed, and now re-added again. So whoever is messing with this, constantly adding it and unadding it, I don't know what's going on, but no matter what, I definitely think that this will be an important location just because of the fact that it was featured in one of the 2 only concept art images that we have been given in a very substantial way, with Venom and the 2 Spider-Mans battling, and the only other detail that we can decipher is that particular billboard. So I think that there's a reason for why that's there. I think the fact that they originally mentioned it in this overview means that it will be an important area as well. And I just think that adding May's name into this is going to be something that will end up tearing Peter apart. Oh, and the final detail I wanted to mention is actually the fact that the game does support 4K visuals. At least that's what they say on the PlayStation.com website, because they specifically point out the stunning visuals of 4K. So for those that judge games on the basis of what kind of graphic fidelity they have, I guess that's good news for you. So there you have it, guys. Another bit of news for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now we all just sit on our seats and wait until we get that story trailer. We were kind of expecting to see that story trailer with the pre-order launch. However, obviously that did not happen. I'm guessing maybe a few weeks from now, maybe a month or 2 from now, we will get another story trailer, because I think that we are due to find out a tad bit more about the shenanigans that await for us on October 20th. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. I really appreciate you guys' support over the last week. It's been absolutely humbling. For those that are using the channel to keep up with Marvel Spider-Man 2, I'm hugely appreciative to each and every single one of you guys. And of course, I will hopefully see you here on the next one.